Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Tuesday live stream. I am Alex, and I am live with Erin, who's in our studio in Kansas. So I wanted to just say hello and welcome you all to our weekly Tuesday live stream. If you are new here or if you're joining for the 1000th time, I wonder how many live stream videos we actually have. We've been doing them since 2020, and we've been doing them faithfully for every week on Tuesdays for since that long. So in the chat, tell us where you are joining from today. If you are, and if you're one of our newer friends, or if you're an OG, been here for a while kind of friend. So just wanted to say hello. Well, you guys watch our little intro video, and I'm always astounded with how many new patterns we have here at the sewing workshop, especially this year. So we are here to introduce to you yet another pattern. It is August, so a couple things are happening. We have our new online workshop for the Inventor shirt. That is our August Sew Confident project. If you are a Sew Confident member, let us know in the chat also. And also, it is an exciting time because we are getting ready to pre-order and launch our September project for Sew Confident, which is the Elle pants. So we have a pre-order for you all. Sew Confident members, you guys are getting an email later on today about the Elle pants kits. So you can pre-order these today. We have two wonderful kit colorways in the new Elle pants pattern. So that pattern will be released here soon, and it comes with the Elle shirt as well as the Elle pants. And as far as kits, like I said, we have two great colorways. These are the most drapey denim chambrays. We have a wonderful blue color and a soft black colorway for the Elle pants. And I am in love with these fabrics, how they feel, how soft they are. And both of these colors are just going to be a great option for you guys to consider your next denim, almost jean-like pant. But these are really soft. They're thinner than a denim, of course, so just a really nice chambray. So these are the two colors that we will have for you guys for the Elle pants kit launch. A little bit about the pattern. It does come with the shirt, and it will come with the pants. So you get the 2-for-1. We're going back to the original Elle pattern where the Elle came with the shirt and the pants. So this is coming out as a digital PDF pattern. The shirt is a loose fitting hip length shirt. It features an overlapping stand-up collar, a mitered corner side, has these wonderful side slits, and the pattern is dropped shoulder. And then the pants are a great straight leg pants. They are elastic waist. They have this front diagonal yoke that is also a pocket. So it's really fun to also consider having an alternate fabric for that pocket feature. And so it's just a really interesting design detail on the pants. And we're seeing a lot of that actually in ready to wear in some of their design features from designers and such. So loving the silhouette of the Elle pants. Not a terribly wide leg pant. Again, it's a semi-fitted, pretty straight leg pant. So that is the Elle pattern that, again, comes with both the shirt and the pants. And just as a reminder for August, since we're still at the beginning here, if any of you want to join the Inventor shirt online workshop, you are not a Sew Confident member, and maybe you just want to join us for the month of August, you want to make the Inventor shirt, which is a pattern from the vault that we re-released. And we also have a few kits available for this. We have a Sienna night kit and a Twilight night kit. All of the other kits are sold out. So if you still want to grab an Inventor shirt kit, you can check it out on our website and just search for Inventor shirt kits. We have a few left, but if you want to join us for the month of August, you get access to a video workshop that Kathy and I did. You also get access to 2 Zoom Q&A sessions, one on August 8th, which is coming up this Thursday, and one on August 21st, and that is our show and tell Q&A. So we have a lot of fun each month with our Sew Confident members, but if you want to just join for the month of August, You can join for $75. You get access to all of this for the whole month of August. But if you want to join us for the rest of the year, you can pay $45 a month and join us for August, September, October, November, and December, and pay $45 for the rest of the year to get access to our whole fall collection of So Confident garments. So that's what's new. That's what you have to look forward to if you're a So Confident member. So our new Elle pattern, as well as our Elle pants kits, are coming at you today and will be available. Again, So Confident members, you guys are going to get an email later today about pre-ordering your Elle pants kits. All right, so today is all about sewing with double gauze. And so Erin is with me in the studio. Let's say hi to Erin over there.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Today we're going to talk about the cottage shirt in a double gauze, a cotton double gauze that is just beautiful. It's airy, it's light, and it's the perfect summer shirt.
It is. You're looking good in it, Erin, and we see it behind you. We had one of our So Kansas participants, Julia, shout out Julia. She wore this double gauze cottage shirt for us at So Kansas. She was just one of those people that we had her try on so many things, and it was just fun to kind of play dress up with her while she was with us at So Kansas. So thank you, Julia. You are here on our live stream featured in this double gauze cottage shirt that we're featuring today for you guys. We have amazing colors of the cotton double gauze. And before we get to that, let's just talk about this double gauze and specifically the cottage shirt. So this is one of our favorite patterns at the sewing workshop, and probably one of our best selling patterns. We call it our version of a camp shirt. So this is a loose fitting wide shirt pattern. It has a nice tailored collar and stand, a back yoke, armhole bands, so not your traditional sleeve, but it has bands for the armholes. Very exaggerated hems, deep side vents. That bottom hem is about 6 inches from the bottom, so it is very exaggerated, a very high hem, and then a 6-button closure. And this pattern is available in both PDF and digital.
Yes, I love the cottage. It even though it's a loose fitting shirt, it has a beautiful drape when it's on the body, especially when you make it out of something really lightweight and drapey like the double gauze.
And Julia here is wearing it with just a nice pair of slim pants, but we talk about some of our favorite pants quite often, but for today we wanted to bring out another silhouette, another look to consider in pairing it with your cottage shirt, and this is the Lotus Skirt pattern. So Betsy here is wearing a Lotus skirt, and I love this silhouette for a skirt. It's kind of your like a traditional skirt shape, but has this flare in the front, so it kind of just elevates your styling, up a notch with how this Lotus skirt looks.
Right, and she's paired it here with the Eureka top, which is a similar silhouette to the cottage. It's a little bit oversized and can be really drapey. You can make it in a knit or a woven, and it has that cropped length, which I think really highlights the yoke of the Lotus skirt and the beautiful drape that hangs down off of the left side.
So a little bit about the Lotus skirt. This is only a PDF pattern, so you can purchase this as a digital pattern, and we can print it for you at the sewing workshop, or you get the home printer version. But this is an above ankle skirt. It does have lengthen and shorten lines on the pattern, so you can lengthen and shorten this skirt as desired. It looks quite long on Betsy, but it's made from the pattern. But you can, adjust to a particular length that you would like. It has a top stitched hem, this asymmetric V yoke in the front, and a draped and stitched left front with a right side seam zipper.
It has a beautiful fit in through the waist and in through the hips. I think it's a really flattering skirt, especially when it's finished with that A-line shape.
So let's talk a little bit about this double gauze inspiration. We're seeing it a lot, and just if you're Googling or even walking through stores, I'm seeing a lot of double gauze sets. So kind of this, we talk a lot about this tone on tone look. So finding a fabric that you love and making a top and bottoms out of the same fabric. So you're seeing this here in some of these looks, you know, a nice taupe colorway. But here, you know, you're seeing a lot of just nice shirts with pants and even considering shorts. So I'm walking through stores and I'm seeing a lot of this look. But, you know, another way to do it is making a double gauze shirt and then pairing it with just a nice pair of white pants, jeans, your favorite pair of pants, like Julia did in the picture as well. So this is just a really soft, light, airy fabric. And we're seeing it a lot in, like I said, sets. So here are kind of some inspiration images that might be similar to the West End pants, a very wide leg pant. You can always consider making your favorite pair of pants into shorts and just shorten your pants to make your favorite pair of summer shorts. But again, just considering making a gauze top and then pairing it with your favorite pair of white pants like we see on the far right.
Yeah, that was my initial thought with this, was to pair it with the West End pants in the same cotton gauze, or in a linen, a mid-weight, pant weight linen. I thought would be really nice as well. And you made the West Ends as shorts, right? You have a pair of green
Yes.
shorts. I think those are fantastic. I tried to find them, but to wear them, sneak them out of here, but I couldn't find them. But it's a great idea. You can shorten them into even just above the knee shorts. The capri length is back. So just having a shorter length in the summertime is really nice.
It is. And even you, Erin, you're wearing your cottage shirt. I'm going to go back to your screen real quick, but you're wearing a cottage shirt and you're wearing it open. And then of course the double gauze behind you is closed. So, you know, you can wear the cottage shirt as a layering piece, wearing it just as a simple shirt that has a tank or a cami underneath it, or wearing it completely buttoned up. So it can go either way.
Right, you are seeing more of the tank underneath and leaving these camp shirts open, which I think is a nice look. I don't think we'd seen that as much in recent years, but it's back, especially when you do pair it with the same color on the bottom, and I really like it.
So that's some of our double gauze inspiration. Again, just mentioning sets and some of the favorites I was seeing on the websites. But I love this first one where it is, of course, a tone-on-tone look. So a nice camp shirt with a great exaggerated collar, a nice pair of shorts to match. But then just that added detail of adding a blanket stitch to your seams. Samantha actually did this to a Japanese top that she made, and then I ended up stealing. But you know, adding just some embellishment or some exaggerated stitches or some kind of decorative feature to your shirt, I loved that thought. And here's a look in the middle of a pair of wide leg pants, but then also just making a cami, making a tank, making another kind of easy travel outfit, I would imagine. And then here is another look of just kind of an oversized shirt, a great button down shirt with the same tone of pants.
And you're talking about the Elle shirt earlier, and then seeing that blanket stitch shirt. I think that would be a fantastic pattern to make for the cotton gauze, and add the blanket stitch details. I think that's really fun. I really like that.
I kind of mentioned this before, but this really is the perfect travel shirt. Just the feel and softness and drapiness of cotton gauze would be something you could just take on a trip, throw in a suitcase, have with you, and just be something that would be able to layer nicely, pack easily. And so I just imagine having one of these shirts on my next trip and having it just be a very easy decision to wear. So as far as what also is on sale this week, we have our So Confident 2018 second edition. And in this Series 7 second quarter, we actually talk about the cottage shirt a lot in this PDF tutorial. And here are some tips that are in this tutorial. It involves tips for sewing linen gauze. These fabrics are cotton gauze, so the The makeup of the fabric is slightly different. It's cotton rather than linen, but the tips as far as sewing with gauze will remain kind of the same, and particular things you would like to note about working with gauze fabrics. Also in this tutorial is creating that front hem in the cottage. And then this method in the cottage that's very interesting is what we call the burrito method. It has the burrito method yoke and the burrito method collar and stand. And what's great about this tutorial is that you actually get a video from Linda in the tutorial how to do this burrito method. And when you purchase this tutorial, you will get that. And it actually has her creating and doing this burrito method. Also in the tutorial, you get some insight of how to create the armhole bands. You get wardrobe tips, working with other patterns. So it's an all-inclusive, comprehensive feature in this tutorial. And as far as working with gauze, Erin, what are some tips we should consider with this particular fabric?
When you're sewing with cotton gauze or linen gauze, like we have in that tutorial, this double gauze was really nice to work with. I did a few samples, and you just have to have a little bit of finesse with it. I did notice that you needed to make sure and use a walking foot or engage your even feed feature on your sewing machine, because it does tend to stretch out a little bit, especially on the cross grain. So you do want to be a little bit careful with that. And in turn, you also want to do more steam pressing, especially with the hems. You don't want to over press it. I think it flattens out the texture a little bit. You can get that texture back with a little extra steam, especially if you want to do that after you've stitched your hems. So you can recreate that, but I think you definitely want to be careful with how you press it. Just don't press it too hard. And of course, using Fusey Web and using our tag board template method for the hems is always a great way to do most of our patterns, but especially when you're working on a fabric that needs a little extra care. But I think overall it was stitching really well. I found it to be a good fabric to work with. Kathy made the sample here, but just in working with a few samples, it was pretty easy to do to stitch.
And just another thing to note with the particular fabrics that we're going to talk about today, these are organic cotton gauzes. So they are 100% cotton. They are 52 inches wide. And this particular color is the azure color. Really great blue. I love this blue.
Yeah, we have a great array of different colors, from blues to a really beautiful sorbet. So we'll show you towards the end of the video the different colors we have offered. Another thing that we recommend, and this is in the tutorial, is how you can work with, how you can create buttonholes on a gauze fabric. And this also applies to a lot of different fabrics, is you want to use a layer of tissue paper in between the fabric and the throat plate as you're creating your buttonholes. And this is going to prevent stretching as you're creating the buttonholes, but it also gives you a really nice flat buttonhole. I know sometimes if you're not using that tissue paper, you might find that your buttonholes are a little thick, or they just have stretched, and so they're going to look a little stretched out when you get finished. So when you use some tissue paper, it prevents that. And then also increasing your stitch length when you're working with the gauze.
Yeah, that second part, increasing the stitch length, isn't something I would naturally think of when it comes to a buttonhole, but it makes sense that, especially with these permanent crinkles in the cotton gauze, that might be something you'd want to consider.
Yeah, and like I said, I do recommend it on most fabrics. Like, you're going to do your buttonhole tests beforehand to make sure that you like the look of the buttonhole. And so try it with tissue paper and without, and you can really see a difference no matter what kind of fabric you're using.
So let's talk about why we're pairing this cottage with the Lotus Skirt. This is a Sew Kansas participant from this year. Her name's Anne, and she came in with this wonderful denim Lotus skirt. I'm in love with this. And so, but because of the wonderful silhouette of the Lotus, Erin has this on the mannequin behind her, which we'll show you guys at the end. But the cottage and the lotus are looking fabulous together. So we are considering this the perfect pairing. Consider making the lotus skirt. Betsy left a comment in here too. It's a pattern that's really fun to make. So if you've not made the lotus skirt, if you haven't tried it, even just for the sheer enjoyment of trying a new pattern and seeing the different ways of how this pattern is going to go together. So we're talking a little bit about the lotus skirt here and the inspiration for it. So I went down a little deep dive into fashion trends for 2024 and found a Vogue article on standout skirt trends. This was from May 2024 in a Vogue magazine issue. And they talked a lot about all kinds of skirts that we're seeing on the runway. So here is a Molly Goddard party on the bottom skirt. And so I love this look where if you look at our Lotus skirt technical or illustration or some of the pictures we've been featuring, that flounce in the front or that the front that extends from the yoke kind of allows your imagination to play with how this can kind of turn into a ruffle, can kind of turn into a decorative feature. So I love that the lotus could kind of be in line with that trend of having a quote unquote party on the bottom. And I also love this middle picture. First of all, just the silhouette first, and also just the classic look of a denim shirt with a wonderful, simple white, slightly ruffled skirt. We're seeing a lot of gathers and ruffles here on runways and in stores right now. So I love just the inspiration of these colors and this look together. But although, again, this isn't the exact silhouette of the lotus, you're kind of getting a nice, crisp, classic look, which the lotus could also be, and just pairing it with a wonderful, nice shirt here. And then I love this consideration for a trend here on the far right, familiar, unfamiliar. That's kind of a great way to describe the lotus because again, it has all the key features of a great fitted skirt, but then has this unfamiliar aspect with this front feature. And you can make it in lots of different things and be able to kind of play with how the silhouette is falling and how it's going to kind of have a little bit of wow factor. So as far as ways we've made it, it's a great go-to skirt. And we have a friend of ours, Stephanie, who's made the lotus skirt in a simple black fabric. So it's easy to think about. We even did this a few months ago with our So Confident project, the Metro skirt. We made a Metro skirt in a simple black knit. And just to have a great black skirt in your closet is always something you can think about. And then we're going back to Anne's picture of a denim skirt. But again, just thinking about how the lotus can become kind of a staple piece and something you'd like in your wardrobe for those moments of either something very classic like a black or denim skirt or something that is a familiar, unfamiliar piece. On sale this week is also the Installing Invisible Zippers tutorial. And so you can purchase this if you want to gain some confidence in installing an invisible zipper, which is what the Lotus skirt has. So Erin, tell us what we should consider when we are putting in an invisible zipper.
When you're installing an invisible zipper, there's a few things that I think are really helpful. As always, fusee web. Instead of using pins to secure the zipper in place, I think using fusee web is a great tool because then you don't have the pins in the way when you're trying to stitch. You're wanting to get really nice and close to the zipper teeth. And so I think when you don't have to deal with your pins and you can be really precise with the fusee web, I think it makes it a lot easier. Using a zipper foot or an invisible zipper foot is ideal because then you can get really close. With the Bernina, it's a number 35 foot. And then it also, and in addition to stabilizing with the fusee web, you would want to stabilize with an interfacing to make sure that area is just nice and smooth. And then also, we use chalkners a lot around here, and it just helps be really precise. You can mark your seam line so you know exactly where you are and exactly where that zipper needs to be as far as on the seam line, but then also the length of the zipper, making sure that's really precise. Before you start, we always advise to press the zipper coils, and you're pressing the tape and the zipper coils so everything is just nice and flat, and you're not getting the rolling of the coils towards the zipper tape. And another thing is just take it slow. Take your time. Take a big breath, and just exhale. And in certain parts of it, especially towards the bottom, you're going to want to walk your needle and take it really slow to get the exact stopping point at the bottom.
And this is an 18-page tutorial with a lot of wonderful pictures for each step-by-step process of putting in an invisible zipper. So again, just a great reference point for you to consider getting if you really wanted a full walkthrough process of putting in an invisible zipper. Let's take a look, Erin, at the wall. You can show us a little bit more about the fabrics, perhaps show us a close-up of the cottage that you've got on the mannequin.
Yes. So here, I'm going to bring this cottage a little closer. So here is the cottage in the beautiful cotton double gauze. Forgotten the name of this color. This is a beautiful pear green, a nice light spring green. It's just beautiful. I love the way it drapes. I think it's just a stunning piece. And then if I scoot it back, you can see this is a striped Lotus skirt. I love the length. I love the length where it hits. When you wear it with a skirt, it still shows off the beautiful drape down here. And I think it's just a really great pairing. I really like it. The cottage has a great detailed collar and stand, front button closure, and the armbands. And I love the deep hem. That's one of my favorite parts. And then the deep side vent.
Erin, what are you wearing yours with?
I'm wearing mine just over a tank top, and then I have on printed Valencia pants. This is a rayon print. I believe we actually do still have this if somebody wants to link to it, but it's a yellow floral print on a black background. So I thought it went really well with it. And I can show you a few more details of the skirt since I know you can't see it very well. So I'm going to show you a few more details of the Lotus skirt. So here's another striped version of the Lotus skirt. You can see what happens with the drape, especially if you're going to make it in a stripe, because I do have quite a few stripes to show you. I think it's a great pattern to use with your stripes and your plaids because you just have to match at this side seam here. So you don't have as much, on this side, you're not matching anything. There's no side seam. So it's a really fun pattern to play with all those checks and plaids and stripes that you may not gravitate towards normally. Just a really flattering skirt. So should we check out some of the fabrics?
Yeah, let me see if there's any questions. I don't know, Erin, if we can get the full length of your pants, your Valencia pants, but we might have to get a picture of you in them later. Maybe we can post it.
Okay, we can do that.
Cute.
We can do that. We have, trying to think if I've worn, I know I've shown them on another live stream as well. I don't remember when that was, but I have shown them, but we can definitely get a picture. But they're the full length. They're the full length. They're, puddling on my shoes. They're nice and long. So they're just a really comfortable, lightweight pant.
And then, Erin, you also had the samples of the cotton gauze to show some of the stitching. So maybe just...
Yeah, that's right. Okay, I do have that. So good reminder. Take a little seat again. Okay, so when I was working with the cotton gauze, the biggest things that really stood out to me were using the walking foot. That was key. So the first sample I did not use the walking foot. And I used a fusible web tape, on the back to get my hems nice and secure. But what ended up happening is without a walking foot, it stretched out a little bit. I don't know if you can see that on the sides, but it stretched out a little bit as I was stitching the hem. And another thing I noticed is that I was a little heavy with the iron. And so I noticed that I just didn't like the end result as much as when I used a walking foot. So when I got the walking foot out, I was trying to be lighter on the iron as well. So just using more steam instead of pressing, finger pressing when I was done. That seemed to make a really big difference. But do you see how it's not stretched out along the side? And I think it just gives it a softer look. And I know there's not a drastic difference, but I liked the end result on this one when I used a walking foot and I was just really light on the pressing. So that was the biggest takeaway I had with the fabric. But I think otherwise it was sewing beautifully, and I thought it's a good fabric. So any other questions while I'm here, and then I can show fabrics.
Yeah, can we see the Lotus skirt sample again and just show us if that front opening goes all the way up?
Okay, sure. Wonder if you can see it just a little bit better on this solid. So this is the drape in the front, and it is actually stitched down. So you don't have to worry about anything being exposed. It is stitched down. You can see kind of where it's stitched down too, but it's not open from this point here all the way up. So you don't have to worry about, as you're walking, anything flying open like you would maybe a traditional wrap skirt. So it's secured with the stitching here, but then also secured up here at the yoke. So no surprises.
And Betsy or Erin, does anyone remember this black skirt fabric? I know this sample's from the pictures from a while back. Do we recall?
I'm guessing it's some sort of crepe, but I don't remember specifically. I mean, I think it would look beautiful in a crepe, or even the polyester crepe that we have. That's our go-to pant fabric. I think that would be beautiful, but also another lighter weight crepe, rayon, silk. I think those would be good options too. Just the one thing to point out about the Lotus is the wrong side does show. So in that drape, that is the wrong side. So you want to make sure whatever fabric you're using has a good looking wrong side. So here is the wrong side of the fabric. And here are the beautiful hems. And here's the right side. So that's one thing to pay attention to.
And I know, Erin, you mentioned in the tutorial for the So Confident Series 7, where we talk about the cottage shirt, there's a point about creating buttonholes on cotton gauze. And we do mention in the tutorial to lengthen your stitch length on the buttonholes. We don't say how much in the tutorial, but in the tutorial, there's a great picture of a buttonhole that has the lengthened stitch length. I don't know if we can give necessarily a number of how much to lengthen your stitch for creating buttonholes on cotton gauze. I think it would be something you'd probably have to create samples for and fine tune it to your machine to see what your traditional buttonhole stitch length is. But I don't know if you can show the buttonholes on the sample for the cotton gauze to kind of get a good idea of what those look like.
I can, and if there is a number, I'm not thinking of it off the top of my head, but I can show you, and we can find out too. It's kind of hard on this lighter fabric. Another way, I'm going to grab another gauze sample, and that might be easier. So this is a linen gauze, actually the linen gauze sample that we made for the tutorial. So let me see if I can get closer for you. Again, this is tricky because, you know, when you do a good job picking out your thread. But you can also see how nice and flat those buttonholes are. But if you would like an actual number, that's something that we can investigate for you.
Erin, did you do any lengthening on your sleeve and the cottage you were wearing?
No, this is a medium, so this is a size bigger than the sample here on the dress form, but it hasn't been lengthened.
Okay. I think
All right.
show us the fabrics.
All right. I love these colors. So let's start with this beautiful blue up here because I think this is just such a fantastic color. We're calling it mint. Again, you can see just the beautiful drape of this fabric. So soft. It's so soft, so light and drapey. I think it's just really good comfort fabric. And then here is that beautiful pear green. I think all these colors look really nice together. And then another beautiful blue. Not sure where this tag is, but another blue option that it's kind of a dusty blue. It's just like kind of a slate.
I think we call that denim.
Denim. Okay. Denim blue here. And I thought all of these paired really well with this striped linen. So you could do a lotus or a pair of pants out of this striped linen. It has a light tangerine and blue and green stripe. Really, really subtle. But I think you could treat it as a neutral because of how subtle the stripe colors are. I think it's beautiful and would look great with any of these three gauzes. And then down here, when we were looking at all the different tonal options on our inspiration pages, this was the tonal option that I just fell in love with. It's that beautiful citrusy green, like an avocado or we called this mustard actually, but I'd say it has a green tinge to it. I would put it more in the green category. And then this bottom one, the gauze is called avocado. There we go. So this would be beautiful. You could do a skirt in the linen and then, of course, the cottage in the gauze. But it's a beautiful combination. And then to spice it up a little bit, I thought that this black or a blue and white check was really nice for a skirt. You know, here's your wrong and right side, so that drape would look really nice. And then it pairs well with azure. That's fun to say. This blue here, which is just a really nice bold blue, looked really good with the check. Or you could be more subtle with this purple and pairing with the sorbet and blue stripe. It really reads as a nice subtle purple stripe. Linen for your skirt, and then the sorbet gauze for the top. Or our favorite plaid. We just love this so much. A great fabric for a lotus skirt. Wouldn't that be beautiful, Alex? I think we need to get on that.
I know.
We need to do that. And look how well it looks with the sorbet. Or we have a really nice, like ballet pink here on the bottom.
I think we call that cotton candy.
Oh, cotton candy. That's the perfect summer name. Yeah, cotton candy.
We'll go back to the sample of the striped lotus, Erin, because I think that sample just does really well in showing this skirt in stripes. And so, of course, this plaid has really exaggerated and enhanced stripes, but some of the other linens you've chosen are just really, really simple, thin stripes. But, you know, it's a fun way to use stripes in a fabric because you can see how many different directions those stripes will go.
Right, so you have more of a horizontal stripe here, but then I love how the stripe is a little bit angled, but more of a vertical stripe going down. So it really just, you know, lengthens the body as that stripe is going down. And then having the angle, you know, on the bias a little bit here. with the stripe at the yoke. So I think it is a really fun way to use a linen stripe. And this Lotus is just a beautiful, I love this stripe. I think it's really fun. It's just, it paired so well with this green cottage magically.
And that colorway, just to mention if we haven't already, that is the pear colorway that Julia was wearing and is in our sample. So
right. So we have any other questions?
There's some nice comments about just how it's refreshing to hear teaching on working with cotton gauze. So I know that Meg McKinney said it's been nice to hear. So thank you, Meg. We do have a question about the mint gauze. I don't know if you can pull that down a little bit closer to the screen, Erin, but on
All
the
right.
yeah.
If there's an accident, I'll be fine. We have these are large rolls and they're kind of hard to get up there. So this is the mint. Let me see if I can get an accurate color. There we go. I think it's just a very beautiful spring color, very in line with the pear. I think they go really well together. So I think they're very spring colors, I think. Spring and summer colors. Really fresh. Like, oh, I know what it reminds me of. My favorite ice cream at Baskin Robbins, daiquiri ice. It's that color.
Oh, yes. I remember that one.
Yeah, that's my favorite. So, yeah, that's the color right there.
Talk about pre-washing. Would you need to pre-wash this cotton gauze?
You would. I would if you're going to wash it, that's usually what we recommend. If you are going to wash your garment after you're done, you would want to test a 4x4 square of the fabric and see if you like the results. It might, cause a little bit more texture to the fabric if you wash it, but I do think it would wash well. But as always, test it first, see if you like what happens, and then go from there.
And then as far as cutting out, would you lay the pattern pieces crosswise or lengthwise on the cotton gauze?
I would, I wouldn't cut it out any differently than you normally would. I think it's, what was the width on it? Yeah, 52 wide. So I wouldn't change anything about how you're going to cut it out necessarily. We do always recommend cutting it out single layer. It's just a lot easier to get everything precise when you're cutting out and when you're marking. So I do recommend cutting it out single layer.
Yeah, I'm thinking now everyone's talking about ice cream. I'm reminded that Kathy during the Poppy Vest Sew Along said her favorite afternoon snack was like a scoop of ice cream. So I don't know. That might be where I am after our live stream. So
I know it's a little warm in here, so I think some Baskin Robbins sounds pretty good.
All right. I don't see any more questions.
Okay. Should we go over the sale?
Yes.
Okay. So this week for our sale, so the Series 7 second quarter that we were talking about that goes over how to deal with gauze, how step-by-steps on the key steps for the cottage, talks about wardrobing, it talks about the London shirt, the swing tee. It's a really good comprehensive tutorial from Series 7. That's on sale. Installing an invisible zipper. So you can really get a precise, beautiful invisible zipper in your Lotus. And then the Cottage is on sale, which is print and digital. And then the Lotus, a digital pattern, is on sale. And of course, all the fabrics on the wall here.
Erin, what is your fabric for your cottage?
This is actually the linen gauze. So when we did that tutorial, we had the linen gauze and a couple different fabric or a couple of different colors, and this was one of them. So we had black and the neutral and a turquoise, I think.
All right. I don't see any more questions.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Just as another reminder, we will be launching our Elle pants pre-order for your kits. So Confident members, you're going to get a first access email later on today. Otherwise, you can just snoop our website all day long and see when it launches. So we will have 2 colorways, a blue chambray and a black chambray. And don't forget to get the Elle pants and shirt pattern. We are bringing it back like the original pattern where it had both the Elle shirt and the Elle pants. So we're very excited for that. So that is what's coming up later on today. And then don't forget to also sign up for the Inventor shirt online workshop if you want to join us for So Confident this month. So thanks, everyone. We will see you next week. Have a good time. Have a good week, and I'll see you guys soon.